y'all? It's Chelsea with the Pots and Pans. I'm going to be showing you how to make these scallops that are to die for. These will be the best scallops you've ever had, I promise you. So my ingredients that I'll be using are some onions diced up, some butter chopped up, Parmesan cheese. I have some arborio, my risotto rice, chicken broth. I have some garlic minced up, some sea salt, my scallops of course. I don't know if I already said that, I'm pretty sure I did. I got heavy whipping cream, and I have some microgreens for garnish. So first I'm gonna start off putting this arborio in my rice cooker. And I just want to get it to about a little over al dente with this risotto, because again we are putting it back in the pan and cooking it again and finishing it off. So I'm putting about 5 cups of chicken broth in this rice cooker with this risotto. The chicken broth just gives the risotto the perfect flavor that it needs, you know. And I put a little olive oil in there and my chopped onions, and I'm going to let that rock out in that rice cooker, and it's going to come to the perfect texture, literally. So that takes about 30 minutes. While I'm waiting on that, I'm going to start off with just patting my scallops out with a dry paper towel, just getting all that excess moisture out of them before I season them, so this seasoning will actually coat my scallops. Normally when you get scallops, there's like a little back piece off the back of them that you have to remove, but on these little guys, as we can see, they're already removed, so they are ready to season and ready to be seared at this point. So I'm just going to season both sides with a little bit of sea salt on both sides, and then we'll get them ready to go into the pan and get seared off and basted with a little butter. So I flip them, get them nicely coated with that sea salt on both sides, and that's it for the season. I'm not going too crazy. So in a saute pan, we're going to coat this pan with a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to do this on medium to high heat. We want this pan almost burning this oil, literally. We want it about smoking. So as you can see how it's starting to pick up temperature, you'll notice the olive oil looks a little less thick than what it was at first, and it starts to like, the texture of it is a little more loose, and then that's how you know it's perfectly hot. So we're going to go ahead and put those scallops in the pan and try to put them on the outside, because the outside is the hottest part of the pan. Once we get a good sear on that first side, I dump a little bit of that chopped butter in there. I let that melt down just a little bit, and then I'm going to start to baste these scallops with this butter that is melting. So I baste and I baste. You let that butter coat these scallops, keep them juicy, you know, because nobody wants a dried out scallop, right? I mean, like, even though that's kind of like, you know, you have to literally like not care at all to overcook scallops, like like this is like beginner seafood, like literally. So go ahead and get those things basted with that butter, and our risotto is ready to go. It's about where I want it. I don't want it all the way done. I still want a little bit of hard to this risotto, because I'm going to put it in this pan again and bring it together with our cheeses and everything else. So that's perfect. So I'm going to get this risotto in this pan rocking. I'm going to add a little bit of cream. We will be adding more, but just to start it off so it doesn't stick to the pan, we're going to add a little whipping cream to get it working, because it's still a little hard. So you just want to bring it the rest of the way up so it doesn't, you know, it's not undercooked. I add a little teaspoon of fresh garlic in there, because you gotta have garlic in everything. Like there's no such thing as like not enough garlic, literally. So I'm getting that worked in there real good. I'm going to keep adding cream throughout this dish and a little bit of butter. That's why I chopped it up so fine. So as you really, like, depending on where you want or how you like your risotto, you can adjust to your palate, to your preference. But this is how I personally like mine. So I like to kind of like start it with a little bit and then work more in as I go throughout. So I'm working in the cheeses. I'm seasoning it with a little bit of sea salt. It's a little like right here. It's kind of like, it's not thick necessarily, but I'm still going to work it a little bit more and get it. I like mine not too thick, but enough, just enough to where it sets on the plate nice and pretty and it doesn't run. You know what I mean? So this is almost where I want it, but I'm still going to, you know, do a little more work to it, add a little accent to it to give it some more flavor. I'm going to also add a little bit of ground white pepper for a little extra flavor to the risotto, just to set it off, because it's already getting Parmesan cheese, it's already got butter in it, it's already got cream in it, chicken base, like it's already going to be some fire. But we're going to really turn it up with this right here. So I'm keeping it working in that pan, making sure everything is getting worked into it. I'm going to add a little bit more cream, as you can see, because, I mean, you know, you got to have cream. I'm going to add the rest of that butter in there, and let's just get the rest of that worked in and let it roll. You can add more cheese if you want. You can add more butter if you want. You can do whatever if you want. You can add some vegetables to this at this point, whatever you wanted to do. But I'm just going with a basic Parmesan risotto just for a bed to put these scallops on. So this is perfect right here. I'm just going to work that in a little more. As you can see how it's like, it's not mush, but it's sliding, and you can still see the grains of the rice. Like, this is almost perfect. And you see how I'm actually being able to like flip it in the pan. You don't want something that's running to where you can't even flip it, especially like something like risotto. So we got to give this thing a try now. We can't, you know, we can't be cooking all this good stuff without, you know, seeing what it's hitting for now. So let's give it a try and see what it's hitting for. Okay, 10 out of 10. Slaps. It is definitely busting. So I'm going to get ready to plate this risotto now. So I'm, you know, it's been setting for a little second as I'm getting other things together before I plate it. So I'm just bringing it back on a little bit of low heat. And one thing about risotto, if you're not in like an industrial kitchen making this, because I've like worked in a lot of Italian restaurants, so this one it's a little tricky when you're at home controlling that heat. So you got to be careful to make sure you don't burn this risotto up. So here we're gonna get ready to plate. I got everything lined up, everything cooked. I guess this is another type of mise en place as well. So this time on this plate, I went with a wood plate because I felt like the microgreens would hit pretty good with it. So I took the risotto and I'm going to go in a straight line. I'm going for appetizer, hors d'oeuvre, small entree, starter. I'm giving very much before the food vibes with this appetizer here or entree. It could be an entree for some, but I'm just, you know, giving something slight for like the table. So I'm putting these scallops on this risotto that I got in a straight line going down. And I just love, like, look at that risotto, y'all. Look at like the grains of the rice, and it's not like running down the plate. It's staying where it needs to stay. I'm putting a little extra Parmesan on top, make it look good, because it is a Parmesan risotto, of course. And I'm using these city root microgreens. These are, I think snow peas or something. Please mark me if I'm wrong, because I just showed the the pack. So, but I'm putting just a little of these micros on top, and they just like really set this dish off. Like, look at this. Look at this. Like, look at that. This need to really be in somebody's restaurant somewhere, like Gordon Ramsay vibes right now. Like, yes, 10 out of 10. Definitely recommend. Don't sleep on me, y'all, for real, because who is y'all playing with, for real? So this is my Parmesan risotto, pan-seared scallops with microgreens for a garnish. 10 out of 10 again. I'm definitely recommending. I don't even eat scallops, y'all. I don't even eat scallops. Let's go ahead and put that out there. But check this out. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, y'all. This fire gonna keep coming every week. We gonna keep posting fire recipes, fire content. I swear to you. Like, this is just literally the beginning. Subscribe, tell your friends, tell them to tell a friend. We got that fire coming, on God. Follow me on all platforms at Chelsea with the Pots and Pans, Chelsea with the Pot. Literally on all platforms. Holiday recipes dropping. Check out my playlist if you haven't already. Let's get it.